Delaware's transit service, moving forward.
New tonight, the race for Delaware's next governor may be a little more crowded. Plus, a controversial building plan at Wilmington Friends School is off the table, and dogs were the hot topic among lawmakers at a local beach. What's been decided about pups on the boardwalk? Those stories and much more straight ahead tonight on DETV News. Hello and welcome to DETV News. I'm Matt Ford. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Making headlines today, Delaware-based pharmaceutical company Incyte will not move forward with a plan to expand its headquarters on land that's currently owned by Wilmington Friends School. That's according to company officials that confirmed that today, Tuesday. A company spokeswoman said Incyte did not receive needed zoning variances for the project. Incyte terminated the contract with Wilmington Friends School because the Newcastle County Board of Adjustment denied the necessary approval of variances which were critical to their ability to move forward with the site plan. That was according to a statement. They're exploring other options to buy or build additional space here in Delaware. 4 years ago, Incyte announced it would spend $50 million to purchase 20 acres that is home to the Wilmington Friends Lower School. Plans included a 5-story, 400,000 square foot building. The project was opposed by many neighbors, despite what the company called environmentally friendly construction, with 2 stories of parking beneath the building, a green roof, and sit below the tree line. With the purchase of the property now off the table, so is a plan to build a new lower school at Wilmington Friends. That's according to school officials as part of the statement today. The school will instead renovate the current lower school property. And in other news, Colin O'Mara, former Delaware Secretary of Delaware Natural Resources and Environmental Control and current CEO of the Natural Wildlife Federation, has formed a campaign committee to run for governor. As a resident of Bear, Delaware, despite working out of Washington, D.C. for the past decade, O'Mara faces fellow Democrats, of course, Newcastle County Executive Matt Meyer and Lieutenant Governor Bethany Hall Long in the primary election on September 3rd. In a statement, O'Mara said he would concentrate his administration on improving the 4 E's. What are they? Their economy, education, environment, and equitable access to housing, healthcare, and public safety. O'Mara also serves as board chair of the Mid-Atlantic Clean Hydrogen Hub, a regional nonprofit, was recently chosen by the Biden administration for $750 million in funding to help build out cleaner hydrogen production. As head of DENREC from 2009 to 2014, then the youngest cabinet secretary in the nation at age 29 only, when appointed by then Governor Jack Markell, O'Mara oversaw the creation of a statewide recycling program and the development of the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative to reduce carbon dioxide emissions in the power sector across a dozen states. As CEO of the National Wildlife Federation, the nation's largest conservation organization with 7 million members, O'Mara lobbied for several key environmental pieces of legislation. Prior to leading DENREC, O'Mara served as Economic Development Officer and Clean Tech Strategist for the City of San Jose, California, and as Assistant Budget Director for the City of Syracuse, New York. He graduated from Dartmouth College and Oxford University as a Marshall Scholar. He and his wife, who served as a policy director for First Lady Michelle Obama, have 3 children that attended Appoquinimink schools. And the city of Newark has joined 2 class action lawsuits against manufacturers of so-called forever chemicals. Public water utilities across the country are suing 3M, DuPont, and its subsidiaries for alleged contamination in surface and groundwater systems. Any public water system in the country is eligible to join the lawsuits upon the detection of PFAs, which are these harmful forever chemicals. PFAs have been detected in both groundwater and surface water samples in Newark. That's according to City Manager Tom Coleman. The Newark City Council voted to join the suits in a closed-door session late last month. Construction is underway for treatment at the groundwater plant, and the city plans to begin cleanup and treatment at the surface water plant. Treatments will cost, get this, an estimated $2.5 million annually, and will result in city water rate hikes. Despite the presence of the chemicals, Coleman assures that Newark's water is still safe to drink. Anyone with questions or concerns can contact Newark Public Works and Water Resources at the number there seen on your screen. And in other news, 2 Delaware men have been charged with stealing a vehicle that had a 1-year-old girl inside. We told you about this last week, a crime that led to an Amber Alert last Wednesday. The child was located in a Philadelphia wine and spirits store later that same evening. 42-year-old Randy Purnell of Newcastle and 35-year-old Aaron Douglas of Laurel, Delaware, were being held in Philadelphia. Each faces felony kidnapping, theft of a motor vehicle, conspiracy, and endangering the welfare of a child, of course. The vehicle left running with the girl inside was stolen in the Ogletown area. Newcastle police said the investigation is still active, and anyone with information is asked to call detectives at the number seen on your screen. And Newcastle County Police are investigating an accident this morning on Mill Creek Road that sent a 90-year-old woman to the hospital. The crash seen here, occurred shortly before 9 a.m. near Brackenville Road when a car went off the roadway, as you see here, down an embankment and flipped upside down into a creek bed. It took about a half an hour for Hockessin and Cranston Heights firefighters to remove the victim from the car. They had to use a wire basket stretcher, also known as a Stokes basket, to get her out. She was treated at the scene by Newcastle County paramedics and was taken to Christiana Hospital in stable condition. However, she did suffer from hypothermia. And police in Wilmington have released surveillance footage of a suspect in a murder, again, that we told you about last week, that happened on November 28th in the 200 block of West 20th Street. 39-year-old Quentin Turner was shot to death inside a home around 9 p.m. Detectives were able to obtain the surveillance video, but have not been able to identify the suspect. Anyone with information related to this case or the suspect is asked to contact Delaware Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-TIP-3333. And to state police news now, they're investigating a pair of deadly accidents down in the Seaford area that happened on Sunday, just a couple miles apart from each other. The first one occurred when a car driven by a 74-year-old Seaford woman ran a red light on northbound Route 13 and Middleford Road and collided with a minivan. That woman did die at a local hospital. Several people in the minivan were treated for injuries as well. And then just a few hours later, an 88-year-old man was killed after getting hit by a car on Route 13 at Oaklas Road, just south of Blades, Delaware. Troopers say the victim had gotten out of the minivan that was parked on the shoulder and stepped into an active lane. Police have identified that man as 88-year-old Wayne Jaggers of Laurel. And to Kent County now, where Dover police are investigating a shooting that happened over the weekend at a Wawa on Forest Avenue. Police say it happened around 5:30 in the morning as the victim, a 45-year-old man, was leaving the store and was returning to his vehicle. He told police that he heard gunshots and then he realized that he himself had been hit. He was treated at Bay Health Kent for non-life-threatening injuries. And new developments involving a property owner and the displacement of dozens of residents here in the city of Wilmington. Adolph Picorni, the owner of Adams Street apartment buildings, is facing a growing pile of fines to the lack of repairs that led to the evacuation of numerous residents. City officials have confirmed that additional fines have been imposed on Picorni. Seen here, the total fines have now reached, get this, $33,000, and they continue to accumulate. The Adams Street apartment buildings were declared uninhabitable back in May of 2022, as you may remember. The city said he has just made a few repairs and he will be fined weekly until code violations are corrected. The impact of the situation has been significant, with many forced to evacuate their homes. The displaced individuals have sought refuge at the Newcastle County Hope Center. Some have also found temporary shelter in local motels, while others have relied on the support of family and friends during this challenging time. And the state of Delaware is introducing a new incentive program. It's interesting to increase recruitment of certified nursing assistants in the workforce. 3 training agencies, including Bayer Professional Institute, Delaware Skills Center, and Sussex Tech, will receive up to $3,000 in-state covered tuition per student. Participants commit to 2 years of state employment post-certification. With CNA vacancy rates at an all-time high of 40 to 50%, the initiative aims to alleviate the staffing challenges that are there, offering a $34,000 annual salary, health benefits, retirement plans, and more. If you're looking to apply, visit the State of Delaware Employment website. You can also email the email address on your screen or call that number there, 302-255-9148, if you have questions. And it's looking like Rover is not going to be allowed at the beach again next summer, well, for now anyway. Rehoboth Beach City Commissioners remain undecided on allowing dogs on the boardwalk during the summer, despite a poll that showed nearly 60% resident approval. 2 proposals, one suggesting limited hours and the other extending the dog-friendly season, were presented, but they were shelved due to concerns about how are they going to enforce this. Mayor of Rehoboth Stan Mills stressed the need to address enforcement issues before they proceed with this. Until enforceability is resolved, Rehoboth's boardwalks are going to remain dog-free. And that's going to do it for tonight's edition of DETV News. We, of course, appreciate your support and thank you so much for joining us tonight. You can follow us anytime at DETV on any of your favorite social media platforms. And for a look around what's happening around the state of Delaware, head to our website. It's detvch.com. Don't forget, DETV News continues tomorrow night at 7:30 with my co-anchor Lauren Wilson. We hope to see you then. Take care.